It's not going to happen, is it? This week's hamster vlog is coming from sunny La Pobla del Duc. Yay! It looks like a perfect evening for running. Cool, bright and dry. If anything, a tad too warm for absolute comfort, to be honest. After what seems to be weeks of downpour, it finally feels like the weather gods have decided to give us runners a bit of a break. Yeah, actually, one less excuse for me not to turn up tonight. La Pobla del Duc is the final event of the year for the Circuit Albaida this year, where the final placings of the runners will be settled. As it turns out, the total of my best 11 results, which is used for deciding rankings, is exactly the same as another runner in my category, Carlos. But due to a quirk in the calculations, I'm placed 15 in my category, and he is placed 14th. In short, I only have to finish 183rd or better in La Pobla del Duc, and I'll jump up a place and leapfrog Carlos into 14th position. Anyway, last weekend was the big one, the trail Benicadei. 15 kilometres, 1,000 metres of climbing, and miraculously one of my best finishes in the Circuit Val d'Albaida this year. Massive thanks to Martha, who dragged me through the final few kilometres, and the mystery hero at the last water station who handed out aniseed spirits. Inspirational stuff. And it was great to see Juan back on the mic too. Everything feels right with La Circuit Albaida when he's calling the races and doing his thing. Non-running update. The rescued kittens are doing well. Now that they've been fed and had some medical treatment, they're doing what kittens do best: climbing, playing, and generally ignoring instructions. Fingers crossed, someone kind offers them a proper home soon. It's half-term week, which means a super relaxing schedule. So, naturally, I'll be spending it running even more than usual. The virtual New York Marathon has got a lot to answer for. And finally, a lot of my friends are off doing the Valencia Half Marathon tomorrow. So tonight's lineup here in La Pobla del Duc might just be Lewis, Ruth, and me. Hopefully a few more familiar faces will show up, but if not, hey, fewer witnesses if things go terribly wrong. But nothing can possibly go wrong, right? Finishing 183rd or better was always going to be a stretch. As hamsters go, I'm firmly on the slow but steady end of the wheel. My best results usually come from the longer, tougher runs like Trail Benicadei, not these short, fast street circuits. But still, I had to give myself a fighting chance, so I broke out the super shoes, the Metaspeed Paris Skies. If I was going to fail, at least I'd do it in style. I arrived early in La Pobla del Duc and found some parking in an industrial area. In Spain, any parking is good parking. The children's races were still in full swing, and it reminded me why I love the Circuit Val d'Albaida so much. The atmosphere here hooks kids into running early. There's real community spirit, a mix of fun, family, and friendly competition. I greeted the organisers. After 20-odd runs, they definitely recognise me now, and checked out the race goodies. Ice lolly, cake, oranges, Sharon fruit, and butternut squash. Not bad. Soon I found Lewis, Ruth and Rafa, plus a few other familiar faces from previous events. My Spanish still isn't great, understatement, but smiles, waves and meaningful nods go a long way in the running world. Then came Juan, our race caller, getting everyone jumping, thanking the town, the volunteers, the organisers, and hopefully us too. The drone buzzed overhead, the crowd cheered, and naturally we set off uphill. I've yet to meet a Circuit Albaida course I'd call easy. This one was 2 loops, up the narrow streets, zigzagging to the top of the town, zigzagging back down again, cross the start, repeat. I'm decent on climbs, but know that faster runners would come flying past me on the descents. That's just how it works. My goal? The elusive 183rd place or better. So I pushed harder than usual, overtaking when I could and trying to defend those spots on the way back down. It mostly worked. A woman I'd passed early in the race overtook me again on the end of the first loop, but I managed to repass her again on the climb back up. Yes, I actually cheered an uphill climb, a bit of a first for me. I'm not sure she was especially impressed though. My apologies. Then a runner from Miramar stormed back past me near the top. He was just too quick for me on the flats. As I approached the final corner, I was greeted by Angel. Then the crowd started to shout encouragement to someone just behind me, and out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a familiar green shirt closing fast and starting to pass me. Another runner I'd overtaken earlier, making one last superhuman push. This was not the time for gentlemanly restraint. I sprinted hard. I didn't even manage to film the finish. Honestly, I was just too busy trying to scamp over it ahead of Sarah. I managed that by just 1 second. Incredible. What do I think of the Circuit Val d'Albaida? I'll genuinely miss it over the winter. It's not brutally competitive, but it gives me a benchmark. Something to measure, to chase, to laugh about. Now that I know the courses, I definitely want to climb higher next year on those finish tables. As for the next few weeks, things are about to get busy. 2 half marathons and 4 full marathons. Yes, you heard that right. So, if you've enjoyed watching me limp, laugh and occasionally triumph through these runs, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next hamster running escapade. I almost forgot to mention that target of achieving the 183rd place or better at La Pobla del Duc. How did I do?
It was never going to happen, and it didn't.